What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Voiceovers Podcast. And King Ronnie is going on here with
24K Logan.
And today we're doing Dave Chappelle's new Netflix special, The Dreamer.
Alright, so I'm going to start off by saying this. If the conversation has not started already, which I'm pretty sure it has, because I've kind of heard this conversation. If the conversation has not already started about Dave Chappelle being amongst the 5, definitely the 10, but arguably amongst the 5, maybe even the greatest comedian of all time, particularly for stand-up, I definitely think the conversation starts after this. I mean, this is what the third Netflix special that he's had that's got a lot of praise and a lot of positive feedback. I'd have nothing negative to say about it.
Yeah, me neither.
I got everything that I expected out of it. I expected Dave Chappelle to say some things that are very, very uncomfortable for some people, or certain, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Certain groups. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know where I'm going. But he did it in a way that wasn't disrespectful, at least not to us. Yeah, you expect nothing but greatness out of Dave Chappelle, and that's what we got. And I also appreciated this special because it was basically a 24th anniversary of the stage that same stage that he performed at
Washington, D.C.
Yes, he performed at that same stage 24 years ago, or almost 24 years ago. He performed at that same stage that he was performing the Dreamer special on. This was when he had did Killing Them Softly, classic. And he returned almost 24 years later to that same stage and delivered another great performance. Right. How did you feel about it?
I mean, it was really cool because, we definitely cannot repeat any of the jokes that he said
for
unspecified reasons. But it was really because usually when I watch a comedy show, I'm usually forcing myself to laugh, but his delivery was what really was keeping him going. And he's been one of the only comedians that's daring, funny, and good delivery. You don't really get that with a lot of comedians nowadays. No offense to anybody, and when we watching this thing, it's like, man, this dude up here, and he's just funny, and it's because he's telling all these stories, which I believe all of them were true stories he was telling, but he was making it funny, and just it was so real, how he is. He's a real comedian, and he doesn't hold back. I don't think he intends to offend anybody, anything. He just makes jokes. That's what jokes are. I don't think he actually hates any group or anything like that. So, when he's speaking on that stage, man, it's just man, he's being himself. He's being genuine. He's not sugarcoating, paid off with anybody. He's just saying what is in his heart. So I respect that.
Me too. And kind of like you said, his delivery. One thing that I noticed about a lot of the great comedians, they have a technique where they're, kind of going into a joke, they're talking, they're saying something, and they wait for the crowd to get quiet, stand still, and they wait for the perfect moment to drop that punchline or to drop the funniest part of the joke, and the crowd goes crazy. Dave Chappelle is a mastermind at that. This special just proved that even more. Another thing, kind of like you said, he doesn't, I don't think he means to offend people, just like you said, but he definitely gives it raw. He gives it, his honest to God opinion, the truth, his truth anyway.
Yeah, he really.
And there was actually, we're not going to go too much in depth, but there were 2 very prominent figures in the entertainment business that he talked about in this skit. And he talked about both of their perspectives. You know who I'm talking about.
I know one.
You know both of them, but he talked about both of their...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he talked about both of their perspectives from a particular situation. And you're like, damn, that probably is how both of these men feel. I'm not trying to give away too much.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm not trying to give away... Yeah,
these jokes.
Funny.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But in that moment, he spoke a lot of truth, and Dave Chappelle can make a lot of things or damn near anything funny, but he also does it in a way where he's telling a lot of truths about our society, our world, certain dynamics within politics, relationships, day-to-day life. That's what I appreciate the most about Dave Chappelle as a stand-up comedian. Yeah. And not taking nothing away from any other comedians, but a lot of comedians, especially that's active, today, they don't have that same type of appeal that Dave Chappelle has when he's on stage. Like, it's that it factor with him.
Yeah, and like it all dates back to the Chappelle show, and like just because I binge watched it last year, like I want to say spring of last year, I can't remember, but I was like, man, I would see these Chappelle skits. I'm like, man, what streaming service is this on? It was on Max at the time. I think it's still. I know it was on Netflix recently. So I'm watching it, man, and I'm always reminded, like, man, this was 20 years ago, but man, it was so raw back then. Like they just didn't care.
There's a lot of things that Dave Chappelle did in Chappelle Show that he could not do today.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows that we can name from the 2000s that really couldn't fly today just because of how sensitive things are now. There's a fine line between disrespect and jokes. You can clearly tell when somebody's being immoral and disrespectful. Dave Chappelle doesn't cross that line.
And what was it? Rest his soul, Charlie Murphy and Paul Mooney, because you mentioned Charlie Murphy had a lot of writing to do in the show, and Paul Mooney had his own appearance in the show a few times.
Exactly.
So it was really good, just seeing the show and everything, and seeing the work behind it. Donnell Rawlings, so many people was like, really in that show, and man, like it was so, I can't even repeat what they said in the show because.
Oh no, we won't. But y'all know where to find Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
Where do you rank Dave Chappelle all time? Whether we're talking about comedic actors or stand-up comedians, where do you rank him all time?
I didn't grow up with a lot of comedians in the older days because sadly they passed away. Ever since like Richard Pryor, Red Fox. I didn't grow up listening to them because they were in another era. But what I've seen with Dave Chappelle, we had this cancel culture thing that's been going on all these years.
You can't cancel Dave.
And that's what I really love about him. He doesn't stop. He doesn't sit there and apologize. Oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't really mean these words and all. No, he says how he feels, And more people like that in this world who aren't afraid to speak how they really feel, I feel like this world really will be a better place. And, we shouldn't censor ourselves for no reason.
Yeah, and like we said, Dave Chappelle, he has not shown anything that's disrespectful or immoral. And honestly, if you really look into it, Dave Chappelle, not just in this recent special, but in a lot of his specials, he says a lot of things that us as Americans and people worldwide, he says what we are thinking. A lot of us are just too scared to say it. Dave Chappelle actually says it. So, I don't see, the cancel culture thing is just ridiculous, but you're laughing because you know how funny these jokes are. I'm thinking
of these Chappelle Show skits, bro. Man, bro.
But all in all, I definitely enjoyed this special. I'm looking forward to the next special.
Yeah.
The both of us have yet to go to see Dave Chappelle. That's something that's actually on my bucket list. Go see Dave Chappelle. One of the greatest stand-up comedians of all time. I wouldn't be mad at anybody saying he is the greatest. I don't know if I would agree with that, but there's definitely an argument to be made. And, once again, Dave Chappelle laid it out all on the line in this special, and he definitely delivered, which was expected. You expect Dave Chappelle to deliver. And for me, where would I rank Dave Chappelle all time? Well, he's definitely in the top 5 without question. Might even be top 3, but definitely top 5.
Yeah.
But guys, if y'all have not seen The Dreamer, please go check it out. It is now on Netflix. Hell of a special. Dave Chappelle, brilliant as always. Expect nothing but the best from him. This was top notch. Spoke a lot of truths. A lot of harsh truths, but a lot of truths. And I'm looking forward to more from him in the future. We appreciate everybody for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. More content is on the way. Thanks again. And until next time, peace and love to everybody.